I had a very good weekend. But on that note was about the travel, right? I get sick of saying this to people over and over again. If you're competing on Saturday, don't try and fucking travel up and down the country on a Friday. The amount of people, whether it was you last Friday, Riz, or the amount of my clients, think they're doing a 3-hour journey or a 2-hour journey, and it turns into double or triple the time. And then they're sat in the car stressed, the bowel movements go to shit. Obviously, the whole fluid because they're sat in the same spot. I remember Seb, I think it was last year, his 3.5-hour car journey turned into like 7 hours. I had one client who was in the car for 8 hours. I'm like, I would prefer someone to just drive down late on a Friday night. I know you've got to register, or get up what I do is get up at the crack of dawn and leave at 6 in the morning. Get your travelling done before anybody else is there. Because if you were trying to travel up and down the country on a Friday, you are going to hit traffic like a bitch.
Do you know what it is, bro? Next time I do a show next year and that, I'm just going to fucking rock up if it shows on a Sunday, I'm just going to leave on a Thursday, bro. I'm just going to get Airbnb, just chill out there.
House chill.
I mean, if it's on a Sunday, it's not too bad. Travelling on a Saturday is fine. It's just a Friday. When I used to work away years ago, we would be in Liverpool or down south. If we left before 12 o'clock, we were fine. If you left after 12 o'clock when everybody's finishing work, your journey instantly doubled in time. Yet every time clients go to compete, I've been stuck in traffic. And I'm like, why travel on a Friday afternoon when you know every man and his dog's travelling up and down the country? Get up early and get out the way.
No, if the weather's shit and it's raining, every cunt drives like a fucking idiot.
Oh.
You know, that's the worst part.
I'm that guy.
You know, honestly, I was so shook of doing the Two Bros, When I got backstage and I seen Jackie, he goes, "Oh,
Mate, the amount of compliments.
I thought I might just go home.
The amount of compliments I got, I didn't know why they messaged me about you and how good you looked in that overall lineup were bonkers. Like even Ben Moore, like he said that he had you beating the majority of them in the shots, apart from Jack in a couple, but in the front double, he thought you smoked him.
Do you know what it is, bro? I had a lot of very, very nice messages, and that's made my week, because I've always doubted myself. I don't think that I'm that good, and even Hilly knows. I come off that stage, I won, and I goes to him. He was like, "What's wrong?" I goes, "Oh, could have been better." Still whinged, bro.
And it's part of the issue with everybody in bodybuilding is because it's because you can analyse your own physique so much. You're never ever happy. Me and Jordan have said this before. Like we spent years, right? We would be talking every day during prep, and you would get the 3 weeks out when you were starting to look your best. And instead of being walking around with your top off, feeling mint, like going to finding an outdoor pool at the other side of the country. Do you know, enjoying it? All we would start doing is like, right, what should we do post-show? What do we need to work on? And I say this to clients, like, just go and look in the fucking mirror and be like, shit, how good do I look?
Yeah.
And then by the time you come off stage and you're like, you're not, like, because you can pick faults with yourself, it's very hard for, and I say this to clients all the time now. It's like Riz was the prime example. He wasn't happy winning that show because he was like, well, I know this could have been better, and I know that could have been. And we all take that enjoyment away from ourselves, whether we win, whether we came last. The fact is, if you looked better than you ever have done, and you did everything you could do to fucking win, because the result on stage is just people's opinions.
Bro, I was up here on Two Bro stage. I was up 10 pounds of stage tissue, straight, and I was leaner than ever. At the PCA, I was up 15 pounds, bro, 15 fucking pounds, and in better condition, So, and I took a step back, like Nathan Styles messaged me, and a few like the lads I really respect messaged me. They're like, Riz, listen, you looked very fucking good at the Two Bros. You just stick to doing that. He goes, you seem like you were at home. They seem to like your physique there. It just seems like your style of fucking federation. You just stick to that.
You knew that anyway, didn't you? Because it's more favourable to your weight cap.
Bro, it's not even that. It's just the fact, like, I've been so scared to do them shows because them guys are good, man. But when I looked at the picture of the overall, I was like, you know what? Dee was like, Riz, she goes like, I'm not blowing no smoke. She ain't spoken the whole of prep. I goes, just don't talk. I goes, just don't hype up. Don't say nothing. She goes, Riz, honestly, she goes, in the overall, you didn't even look that bad. She goes, that Jack lad, he's really good and he beat you fair and square. I goes, yeah, I know that.
But you
I
think,
come off the overall.
mate,
I
I
go
said
to-
it straight away when you walked out with him. It is crazy how similar your and Jack's structures are. I said it to everybody there. He's just got more muscle than you, but even like
Yeah.
the way you're shaped, he needs to pull a vacuum to hide his waist. You don't. Like that, you have very similar structures. Even your quads are very similarly shaped. They're both very square. Does that make sense? You've got that like right angle on your sweep. He's just got a little bit more muscle, but I just think it was an absolute, like even your posing. I think Two Bros really like the whole classic posing, that sort of stuff, and I think that really benefits you. Where PCA don't seem to really look at it as much.
Tripley, what did you think? What did you think from the pictures that you saw, bro?
Motion detected at the front door.
Motion detected, for fuck's sake.
On the Two Bro show? So obviously on the Two Bro, I didn't really see too many pictures of your class. I didn't see any pictures of your class. But obviously at the overall, do you know what? Funny enough, like the Two Bros didn't really do a really good job at putting up any pictures. Like there wasn't a lot. Like you just think, why aren't you putting up all the shots and all the classes in that? Like I get it, there's a lot of classes in that, but surely you should be putting everyone up, especially the winners. So I didn't really see
PCA managed to do a very good job of it.
Huh?
Yeah, so it's annoying that you didn't get the result because, like, for me being a spectator, I feel like I got a good like distinction between the two, and in my opinion, PCA was just a better day. Like, it sounds really silly, but I just felt like Two Bros, like it didn't seem to me like the judges were paying attention. The morale wasn't great. It felt like a few people were up themselves and that sort of stuff, and a lot of people weren't paying attention in the crowd. You go PCA, mate. Every motherfucker is given a round of applause, cheering the second anyone does a pose, all that sort of stuff. It's got a very different vibe to it. It's like a fun event, you know, and it's really disappointing you didn't get that.
PCA shows almost like the crowd is like actually engaged with the stage, but whereas like the Two Bros, almost like people just sat like almost like got there to like chat to each other.
Yeah,
and it's like a show in the background. It's odd. But the music, a lot of that, like the PCA has like that dramatic music and all that. That helps, I think.
Do you know what I think is? Sorry, go on, Riz.
I like the Two Bro show because a bit more me. I'm a bit more calm. I don't really need the hype and all the fucking music, right? That's more my style. Just go on, do your thing, fuck off home, yeah? And you compete against the best. The PCA shows, I've done loads before, and they are fucking mega shows, yeah? It's just very, very hard for me to accept. What do you have as classic bodybuilding when it consistently keeps changing from show to show?
Yeah.
You either want, I'm sure classic bodybuilding, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what fucking federation you are, the MPC sets the standard for everyone. That is pretty much fucking it. Everyone else copies, all right?
And well, they classic tried to copy though. If they'd actually tried to copy, I think that would have been fine. But they don't. PCA, it's more like PCA Classic is more like a small bodybuilder. That's kind of how
that's what I think, Chud. But that doesn't lay to what we saw. And I agree with you. That's what it normally is, and I think that's where Riz would do better. But this kid, I'm sorry, was half a bodybuilder. Like he looked like he could have been very good at men's physique, if that makes sense. He didn't pose very well. He was very clumsy on stage. It was his first show. He never posed his legs in any shots. He had small legs. His legs weren't even in from the front, in my opinion, barely in from the back. And I thought, to be honest, I stopped even paying attention after Riz did like quarter turns because I was so confident he won. I was just chatting to Hilly and fucking around and trying to terrorize. There was like another Indian group of people in front of us who had like their friend on stage, and I was just trying to shout louder than them to piss them off. But like that's all it was, and it just baffled me that you didn't get the result. It kind of frustrated me a bit because I felt like you looked so much better for the PCA than Two Bros.
Yeah, you did. And in fairness, like it's got nothing to do with the kid that won, because it's the judge's opinion that makes the decision. Do you know what I mean? And he had a good upper body, but as what Dex says, and everybody seemed to agree that was there, that were all into bodybuilding. Like, bodybuilding is about building your body so it is balanced, and never more so, in my opinion, than in classic. And I had always thought that Two Bros have their weight criteria, and they very much tend to reward a bigger overall look, whereas PCA say that they go for more of a classic look and they reward the look. And there is no way on this earth you can have a classic balanced bodybuilding look if you don't have legs that remotely balance your upper body. And
You
the
see-
kid that won just didn't have any fucking legs at all. And that is not a knock against him. It was his first show. His upper body was very impressive, but he just didn't have the legs, and he wasn't posing whatever legs he had. So I don't see how. And the kid was shocked himself when he won. Again, it's nothing against him.
I
but
would
the
have
lad
had
that won.
I would have had the other guy second. The other
Yes.
dark lad, he was chunky ass legs. He wasn't really in shape, but he to me had a better classic physique. He was in from
Yeah.
the upper body. I'd have had
He was
Riz
very
first,
good from the back.
Yeah,
Very,
I'd
very
had
good
Riz
from the back,
second.
that boy was.
So
Yeah,
Riz
what-
first,
what-
Jack second.
What happened to Jack?
So, the number one, Jack got absolutely mugged off more than Riz did. Jack did not deserve to be fourth. Even like I've seen some passing comments from the other guys. And what was really interesting is Jack's class is normally the empty class because there's not many people normally his height. But there were
Yeah.
a few of them.
Well, I know a bunch
Jack,
of them.
in
One
my
of the
opinion,
guys was up against one of my guys last year, and he wasn't.
What's his
he
name?
wasn't that good. Huh?
Dara,
Yeah.
that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
He
just
was being
gave you one
coached by
leg.
Christian
I'm
last
sorry,
year.
if you want to scrap about it, we can
Mate,
squabble.
he
But
coming
he's got
soft
one
as
leg.
fuck
Like he's
last year.
height
I like the
very
guy. I like the guy, but he came in soft as fuck last year, and he might like one of my guys. He was up against him. It's like he was being coached by Christian last year.
I think so. That Dara, what he did well is he ran in flat, in my opinion, and it made him look a bit more shapely and a bit drier than the others.
He's got nice shape.
I said this to Jack, so it won't mind me saying this. Like he needs to put another 10 pounds off from the back, in my opinion. And the problem is with Jack needs to understand his level of fullness in his head is unnecessary because he's already bigger than everybody. Like he has that bursting full, and he did up top. He had a very bursting full up top and a very dry and hard legs. And you put him next to that Pierce guy, he looked very soft against him. But I would have had Jack second and that Pierce guy first. But Jack knows what he needs to do. He's digging back in now, I think, and dieting for a bit. I just think he just needs to get another 10 pounds off, and he's going to be dangerous.
It's like we said on the day, it's just that for a lot of people, to get everything off, you've got to come down to where you look worse. Get the stubborn areas off wherever anybody's stubborn area is. You've just got to, for the majority of us, to get all of it off, you've got to come down to where you feel like death, you look like shit, let your body get rid of the stubborn areas and then come back up.
I think with
Once,
Jack,
once you do it
what
once,
you said, what you said there. With Jack, though, it's a balance because he majorly over dieted last year. He come in like he lost much more than he should have. But what you're saying is come down to where you came down to and then fill back out, which is what you could have done. But the trouble is, because he's so tall, he hasn't got the room to drop that much weight because he's already he's quite heavy as it is.
he definitely needs more legs as well. He definitely needs more quads to balance out the upper body for me because he's up. It's the first time I've seen him in person, and he's got so much upper body muscle. And
He's a big motherfucker. He's a big bastard, bro.
And he's got lovely shape with it and structure. His physique has untapped potential, but he needs more quads to balance that up around.
Even like 3
If
years
I was
ago, when
coaching Jack,
go
come on, Judds.
Like even
I was just going to say, if I was, go on, Judge, you go.
Go on.
I was just going to say, if I was coaching Jack this year for the first time, his legs held fullness and they were very dry. I would have ran him in flat. Upper body, so it kind of, I just sounds really silly. He almost had a stringier look up top to match his legs, and then I would have just got him to pump up. That's what I would have done. When I seen him posing in the car park, first of all, he came up and asked me to have a look at him. I would have put him on stage at that point. But I also know at that point he was already saying, I'm flat, I can't feel my chest and all this sort of stuff. And he went and ate a fair bit more rice cakes and jam and all that sort of nonsense. But I think,
you see, bro, I'm the total opposite of him because I don't want to eat pre-stage. I tried to keep out of my fucking bag, yeah. Martin was like, have a little bit. I was like, oh, really? I just had a little bit of jam. Do you know what I mean? Like, just trying to keep it minimal. But I think he's the opposite, bro. He needs a lot of food for his size. Do you know what I mean?
He is the opposite, only because of every time that he's gone on stage, he's had that bad experience of being flat. So the first show that he done with Jace, they ended up having he had an infection a week before that. He had to go and flat. They obviously used a direct. He flattened out badly. The second show he got sick, so he's got that fear of being flat. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's probably where that comes from.
Bro, you can ask Deck, yeah. I was sat there at the Two Bros with my legs up, yeah, and he looked at me and he was thinking, yeah, motherfucker's flat. But
I was flat at 10 in the morning.
yeah, that's what I'm saying to you. Because I'd already seen what Martin did the day before, you lot will see it when he drops his YouTube video, yeah? On Friday night, when I got there to weigh in and whatnot, I was literally just on the limit of the cap, yeah, in Class A. And I looked at Dion and I go, listen, mate, I goes, I look like shit. Martin looked at me and he goes, yes. He goes, perfect. He goes, right, we're going to put the food in, yeah? Bro, I woke up, bro, I've never eaten so much food in my life, yeah? It was like a cheat day, bro. I woke up at 11 o'clock. I was at D. I goes, get the car. We might as well just go back home. I goes, I've spilled that bad, bro. I have to admit, as a man, bro, I mustn't have a fucking anxiety attack, bro, yeah? I was like, listen, my stomach feels fucked. I goes, I feel fucked. I looked in the mirror, bro. I looked like I was a fucking bodybuilder again. And I was like, for fuck's sake. Because I can't see anything, yeah? But obviously, behold the power of the aldactone, diazide, peak max, and H2O. Man woke up dry as fuck. And I was like, yo, I went to see Martin. Martin goes, yeah, take this melatonin gummy. He goes, you look sick. He goes, you look sick, just where I want you.
In a way, though, he does spill everyone before he brings you back down.
Yeah.
Really what he does.
Riz looked way better for the Sunday show, way better on the morning and into the show, because he needed more fluid on the day. But that Saturday was just the first time of his running that whole protocol, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a water thing, wasn't it? Then that was it. You put water in, that vascularity popped.
All we changed was, for the Two Bro show, we're doing 75 ml of water roughly per meal for the last 3. And then obviously I was drinking a bit of Diet Coke at night anyway. Man, I was so thirsty, yeah, my mouth was hurting. And then on the PCA show the night before, we did 200 ml of water per meal. And then the morning off, we did 500 ml per meal. But I did one big meal in the morning, cream of rice, dark chocolate, peanut butter, no protein, no nothing. Just straight carbs and fats. And that's what held me all the way till the show.
When you arrived at the PCA show, you look like on the Two Bros, you had no vascularity or anything, whereas on the PCA, but by the time you got off from the overall, you looked a million times better. And then your look on the morning of the PCA looked like you just come off the overall. It was perfect all day.
That's
you looked
exactly
awesome.
Yeah.
You had no stomach distension, no nothing.
You know, Riz, because you normally train quite late, right? So you push your meals sort of more of the carbs towards like the back end of the day. So you tend to look better. And when you send us pictures, they're always at night, right? So do you reckon that's probably what it is? Like in the mornings, you're quite flat, whereas I'm the opposite. Like I even like wake up, like when I send like my check-in shots, even like fasted, I don't look too bad because it's like I kind of like hold that fullness in the morning, and I tend to like flatten out as I go flat. Like, do you know what I mean?
Me and Dee spoke about this because I train quite late, yeah. And I eat like 2 big meals basically before. I eat a meal at 8 and I eat a meal at 10, and I go to bed at about 11. So that works out pretty good for me because I know exactly how I'm going to wake up the next day, depending on that look at night. And obviously doing classic, you're always on stage before 12. So for me, it's perfect because I can wake up in the morning at 7, bang a big meal in straight away, hydrate. I literally put in about 1.5 liters just on wake within about half an hour. Hydromax, this, that, all the powders, bang them all in. And bro, by 12 o'clock, I always look my best. So for me, it's actually worked out in my favour.
Fluid, it was all it was. You can't have peak max in H2O, aldactone, diazide. Like me and Deck were about it, and Lee Priest made this best statement before a very, very long time ago. He was like, you don't take diuretics and fucking don't have any water. He said you either cut water so your body excretes it, or you take the diuretic so the diuretic does. And yes, manipulating it, but you need some fluid going back in. And like we said, him and Martin just put more fluid in based on what they'd seen on what we all saw on the Saturday. And the look on Two Bros was good, but I hope the pictures show how impressive the look was on PCA, because it was drastically better. And the beauty of what Riz and Martin did is that if you can take a good look on the Saturday and make it that much better on the Sunday, that shows that you've taken your feedback and you've adjusted it, because it went from being a good look to a great look in 24 hours. Which is
and we were up £5 as well, so it shows I was actually
man.
I was actually in shape, which was good to know that, because if I wasn't in shape, it would not look good.
And you ate less on the Saturday, because we went for that food on the Saturday night. So on the Friday was a very late free-for-all meal, where on the Saturday you weren't really eating much and you didn't want... Me and Dec were like pushing fries at you and shit. But because you just... All the food and the glycogen was there, but if you wake up like you did on a Saturday morning and there's no vascularity, there's nothing going on, it's not more food that you need, because you ate fucking all you can eat Nando's at fucking 11 o'clock at night. It's just... The glycogen sat there, you need the fluid to get it to go.
Do you know what it is, bro? Like, with me, yeah, I was in a panic, yeah. Like, it was taking like 5 days for my fucking mouth to recover, yeah. Bro, if you give me something on a high day, Hilly, man, I eat more, bro. I always eat more, yeah. So when I'm there, fat greedy bastard, and I'm like, yo, I can't eat the fucking food, dear Hilly, I can't eat the food. You're like, eat it. I'm like, bro, I can't fucking eat, bro. And then, I'm thinking, yo, something fucking wrong with me. I must have fucking cancer or some shit, yeah? Then I'm thinking today, I'm fucking become a diabetic or some shit. But check my fucking blood sugars now. And I was thinking, what the fuck's wrong with me? Yeah?
Well, just because you were...
so fucked.
It's because you've been taking fucking Peak Max all week, fucking H2 out all week, fucking all that done, and Dizard, you were the most dehydrated man on the fucking earth.
God, I was going to fucking strangle him. Martin goes, mate, you need to go out and eat. He eats 1.5 chicken thighs and half a portion of chips.
I literally had my phone out at one point going to message Martin saying, listen, just so you know, this little motherfucker hasn't eaten at all, mate. And then he was like, I'll eat some more.
This is probably like, look, I'm going on stage on like the next day, so I don't want to spill. Or
no, bro, I physically couldn't eat. I swear to God, my mum's life, bro. Yeah, bro, my mouth. Do you know my gums on both sides already? Yeah, I chew them at night. Yeah, hence I need a mouth guard. Yeah, bro, both of my fucking sides of my mouth are fucking burning. Yeah, that little tab between your front two teeth at the back was fucking on fire, bro. Yeah, my tongue's fucking hurting, bro. I'm eating fucking soap and chips and fucking just fucking salty food, bro. My mouth's just on fucking fire, bro. I had a bit of fucking ice cream. Hilly bought me a Magnum, yeah. Thank fuck I ate the Magnum because it made me do a big shit, and my mouth settled down a little bit. Bro, my mouth was fucked.
Me and Hilly are season pros at that from all the MDMA. We're used to it. We ride that storm out.
We know how to fix a sore mouth, mate. Don't you worry about that.
Bro, D was like, but the good thing was we got mouthwash on Saturday, and I was using that, so it did make it better. And I used it all the way on the way back home as well. I went to see the dentist yesterday. Fucking hell, bro.
I really enjoyed your Instagram rant about the dentist. I was fucking crying, man.
Oh, bro.
You're off your head, bro. Honestly, you're a fucking tap.
I goes to her. I goes, listen, my teeth are quite bad, you know. She was like, don't you, Riz, we booked you in for the cleaning. I was like, thank fuck. I was like, perfect. But yeah, so she was like, plaque everywhere.
So that's the show weekend. How are you feeling now, Riz?
So on Sunday night when we got home, Matt came over. We got takeout, yeah, from some place called Afrikaners, like African food, like that sort of food.
Yeah.
I ordered I'm a boring bastard, yeah.
Chicken again, isn't he?
I ordered chicken curry and rice, yeah, and plantain, yeah. I ate that, bro, and I'm just falling asleep eating it. I ordered 3 portions of chips at 8.25, yeah. And then I had some Mars ice cream, and I'm falling asleep. Matt's gone. D's like, yo, you're not going to eat? I goes, give me another Mars bar, yeah. Woke up, ate it, fell back asleep. Woke up 2 hours later. She was like, get the fuck up, go to bed. I goes, I'm going to have some minstrels, yeah. I had some more ice cream because it felt so nice in my mouth. And I woke up Monday, bro. I was 82 kilo on stage on Sunday. I woke up Monday 81 kilo. I had a whole day off, yeah. Martin said, do what the fuck you want. When I ate all that shit, ate Greg's, ate us.
You ate some shit food, you kid.
Bro, I like basic food.
Minstrels and Greg's, that's not basic, that's just dog shit.
That's pathetic.
I went to Greg's and D was like, get what you want. I goes, yeah. I goes, get me gingerbread, man. I goes, get me cheese and a pasty I goes,
Fucking
"Hey,
hell.
get me a tuna crunch baguette, yeah, bro. I'm eating the baguette, my jaw's hurting. I'm like, yo, this is fucking nice, but I can't eat it.
Well, you
Took
didn't even
that-
get a sausage, cheese, and bean melt,
I don't eat that shit, bro.
bro. You're a fuck.
Bro,
What do
that's
you
not-
mean?
And then
That tuna crunch melt is the worst thing you can get. You can get a
It
great.
is the
Bro.
worst.
Yeah.
no,
Then
no,
onions
what do you
on
mean?
top. No, if we didn't have onions on top, that would have been so much better.
No, I never got the melt. I got the tuna crunch baguette, bruv. Yeah, I got that.
The cold one, the cold one, yeah.
Yeah, the cold one. I got
Yeah,
that.
but
That
it's
was
got
nice.
onions
Yeah.
on top of it though.
It's
Bro,
like-
the
it's like-
past.
It's just baguette with like 10% tuna in the middle, mate. It's
Yeah,
awful.
it's
Bro,
awful,
listen.
mate.
That's all I wanted. I had that, yeah. Then I went to D. I goes, right, let's go to B&M. I'm going to get some cookies. And I got like the 89p cookies, the shittest ones you get. And I goes, fucking hell, these are banging. I goes, these are banging. You know? I'm eating them on the way to the zoo. She went to me at the zoo. I goes, I don't feel too good, man. I goes, I feel proper tired. I'm walking around, you know, keep my wife happy. She goes, you want an ice cream? I goes, fuck the ice cream. I goes, get me a slushy. I had a sip and I goes, tastes like shit. I goes, you just have it, man. Got back home. The best meal I had, there's a place called Popeyes. That's an American restaurant in
Popeyes chicken.
Popeyes chicken, mate. I got a Popeyes chicken burger, gravy, and some fucking mac and cheese, yeah?
Nice.
Their fries were fucking pucker. I ate all of that, and then I went to this place to get some big brownie things, yeah? Now that big. I had a slice. I goes, D, do you know what? This is just nasty, mate. This is just like fat persons coming together, just chucked a load of chocolate and a caramel in a fucking square. So I dashed that in the bin. I came home. I came home, bro, and I started dashing shit in the bin. I goes, fuck this, fuck that. It tastes like wank. And I went to sleep. Woke up. I can't remember what I even had, boys. Can't remember.
Bro, if you ever call me a gypsy again after your post show of going to Greg's and B&M, you're
Yeah.
getting a sidewinder in the head.
And then I came home, and Monday night, when I got home from the zoo, I goes, listen, D, I went to sleep, I woke up, and she goes, what do you want to eat? I goes, take me to Asda. I went to Asda, I got some cobs, yeah? Batches, rolls, buns. The plain white, cheapest ones. And she was like, what do you want to do with them? I goes, I'm going to buy some cheese. I'm going to make some cheese sandwiches.
This is the worst post show I've ever heard
I
in my
know.
entire life. It sounds like someone's on the bread line going to the shop.
Yeah.
And then,
Hey, do you
and
want
then
me to do a
finally...
transfer? I'll chuck you 50 quid now and you go get some snacks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'll get something nice on Uber Eats if you want it, G, mate. If you're there.
Nah, bro, and then finally yesterday...
At least, bro, if you want
Finally, yes,
to just go to Lidl. Lidl's got the fucking bakery. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Lidl
Yeah.
has got the bakery, bro.
Bro, I came home yesterday and I was like, you know what? I felt fucked yesterday. Martin go, just rest up, eat again, yeah? He sent me my plan, spoke to me, whatnot. And so I was like, D, I goes, fuck this. I goes, I want a pizza. I goes, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to eat what I want. Fuck it, yeah? So I got a Pizza Express pizza, yeah?
Yeah.
And I got 2 Pizza Express pizzas and I got a pasta, yeah? Because I knew it was going to fucking bloat me to the living fucking shit, yeah? And I finally woke up 2 kilo heavier and I was like, yes.
You look
You'd
pretty
have-
good though the morning after, mate, for sure.
Yeah. You'd have thought after all of these years, right, and you're going on about your stomach problems somewhere, when your coach said eat, you would have had at least some decent quality food in there. You've literally just got to every place that is like the most nutritionally dog shit based
Yeah.
food.
Yeah,
on
man,
the
I don't care, bro.
for
Bro,
48 hours.
Bro, do you know what it was?
Yeah, but
The
not
worst thing
all of
was...
us like you that would be like, oh yeah, I'll just still eat fish the next day. Like,
Well,
Really?
want
You
some
fuck off.
real
Sea
food.
bass in rice.
yeah,
I
most
want
of us,
some
like,
real food.
head to Five Guys, head to like that's the like.
Bro,
You know,
I'd eaten burger and chips for the motherfucking last 5 days, bro. You think man want to eat burger and chips again, bro? And I was gonna get fish and chips from like that proper nice fish chip near my house, yeah. That was fucking closed. My favorite burger place my favorite burger place in town, that was closed. And I'm just getting more and more pissed off now. I'm like, D, just get the fucking crisps out, get the cheese sandwiches out. I'm just gonna eat them.
Crisps and dip.
But even Matt bought me some Lindor chocolates. He goes, "Hey, have these. I bought you some cheesecake. I bought you some coleslaw." Obviously, I ate them at night time when everyone
Yeah.
fucked off.
Then during the night munchies.
Yeah, night time lunches. Yeah, but bro, I think this is the first time doing a peak week like that, and the big benefit that I found is my mouth's so fucked.
You don't want to eat.
Man can't rebound. Man, I was eating food like I was on benefits, bro. What the fuck, man? You're fucked, bro.
Deck, how are you at the moment? Let's all talk about ourselves.
Yeah,
How's
good.
it?
we still got the Austrian, Was it Austrian show on it? Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah.
Connor,
I didn't see much of that. I was too busy wondering about after thingy.
Oh,
The what show?
Connor got raped again.
Oh, bro, Connor keeps getting fucking... Bro, I messaged Connor. I goes, bro, I know how you feel like. He goes, yeah, I felt like 100 times, bro.
Mate, you just look at them shots and you just think, oh, what are people looking at? Like...
Yeah, it's fucking mad.
He said to me, he goes, Riz, I went there, I shaved my head. I tried to look different. They still knew it was me. Fuck yeah. But bro,
I reckon he's going under a different name.
There must be something happening that he's doing on stage.
Yeah,
to
we
get
said
him marked down. Me and Dex said this at the weekend because he is night and day better in every aspect when you look at him. From condition, muscular size, when you're looking at the pictures, there is nothing anybody beats him on. So the only thing I can presume is there must be something that either the judges are seeing on stage or that's happening with his posing that is getting him marked down by a huge... Because in terms of points or in terms of, like a positive and a negative, there must be a huge negative somewhere they see on stage.
But this is bodybuilding, right? Let's just say there's 10 aspects to bodybuilding: flow, condition, you've got all your mandatory poses. He wins 99%.
I know.
So the one problem...
Yeah,
I said, Hilly, they must hate him. Like, I'm sorry, but there's no other reason for it.
But see, what I mean is that, so there's two things that I know that from what I gather, the IFBB or whatever, the NPC have, is that bad synthol enhancing stuff are dodgy body parts and really bad distension or bloating. So if from what I gather is they are told that if they see that badly, that person is not to win. So is his stomach really bad in between poses? Because you don't see that in a picture, do you?
I tell you what, I have seen him compete on stage and in transitions in previous shows that he was in. You have seen that. That's been a problem. Now, whether that's an issue right now, I don't know, but that has been a problem. And he said that obviously he sorted that out, but.
Do you want to hear the maddest fact from the weekend?
Yeah, go on.
That Johnny turned pro at £220. I can't get my head around this. Like, I haven't stopped thinking about it. Johnny Mack turned pro at £220.
Was
that
he?
is bonkers.
Yeah, bro, he's really short.
Huge.
He's short though.
No, he's not. He's about my height.
He's not that short.
Yeah, he's about 5'10", 5'11".
Oh, he's
must
not.
Have pulled, he looked a bit shorter than me, and I'm 5'10", so he must be 5'8", 5'9", maybe. But he's not much shorter than me, if at all. Like, you wouldn't notice it. Yeah. To be 220, he must have had hollow bones on the day or sucked down real hard.
What a lovely guy, though, in real life. What a nice bloke to chat to.
Yeah.
A heart of gold, super friendly,
Yeah, he is.
Mate, fuck knows. But yeah, Connor just there's just
so
something that they obviously don't like about him. But
do you know people were saying like the famous ex-fake dickhead YouTube stars? They were saying that he puts stuff in his delts, and not his delts, in his lats. I don't think he does, bruv.
You wouldn't, man. Look. He could be
using
using
who the
it.
fuck?
He could be pinning inside. Like, that could be where he's pinning them, and he could have a bit of scar tissue build up there. I will say, and I hope you don't want to punch me in the head when I say this, that, like I said, there was a kiddie who took the time, the sad bastard, to screenshot photos from him like a year ago to now, and there is a difference in his lats. But I just can't see somebody using synthol in their lats. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Why would he?
We found a real lat picture, and like, do you know when you look where your terrors are, and like, your rear delt's there, your rear delt's here, and then your scapula and your back comes in like that. Underneath his scapula almost, there's a bit that comes out, and it doesn't look right. But it wouldn't, like what Dex says, it would make no sense for anybody to put synthol there. No. And it seems very high up to where you would shoot. I'm saying.
So when I pin my lats, I'm pinning in here. Yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm wondering if he's pinning up in his fucking terrace. Yeah.
No. Bro, do you know how painful it would be to pin yourself there, bro?
I've pinned up that high and it does hurt. But if you look at the rear shot, the picture that we were looking at, it goes like that instead of coming down. But it goes
if you look at his physique from the rear, right, it's like his structure, like Nathan D'Asher, right? His lats are just there, they're at the
Yeah.
top, and his waist is there, and his lats just sit there. So obviously your lats get bigger and bigger. Where's it going to go? It
But that's
can't-
what I'm saying. But that's
can't
what
go
Dex.
down.
But that's what Deck's saying. Maybe he just jabs there, and it's giving the look that there's something going on. But even so, I still don't think that would justify
No.
him not winning. Like that's why. I mean, I don't get it myself. He is clearly way better. So the only thing I can presume is there must be, because
Well,
they
I'll
I
tell
don't
you
think
what.
you can get away with.
Ryan-
I don't think
Ryan
you can
was
get away
at
with
the
not
show.
liking someone.
Okay,
Right.
Ryan was at the show because his bird competed, right? And Ryan said, "There's actually a picture from the front. Let me find it and I'll show you." He said the guy that was that beat him was a lot tighter. He was a lot tighter
Right.
than Connor from the front. That's what
There
he
you go.
said. And he said he thinks that Tom has spilt him because the guy that beat him, he said he was a lot tighter from the front. Let me try and find that shot that they're up against each other.
Because that kid looked soft as shit from the back. I watched that video. The guy who beat
Yes.
Connor was not in from the back at all. He had soggy glutes, shit back.
It wasn't very muscular from the rear either, bruv.
But
Wasn't very muscular
then
over
is
around.
such a good comparison. Him and Nathan D'Asher, like structurally, are almost identical. Like it's so similar.
Bro, it's just frustrating because when you see someone who's, do you know what? After all of this shit, yeah, for him to keep stepping on stage, that should just give them the fucking dignity to say, you know what, this motherfucker is not going to fucking stop. Just fucking give it to him.
Yeah, I
Just give him the
wouldn't
fucking card.
be surprised if he did really well in the pro ranks as well. Like he's got it all there. It's all there in those shots, man.
Even so, Ryan said he should have won. He reckons he should have won because he was a lot bigger, but he did say that obviously he was softer from the front compared to
Well,
almost like filled.
What you see in
Like
pictures.
too many carbs. They take.
What you see in pictures, and then what if someone's there, they see what we done. Because
Yeah.
I mean, us all being at shows at the weekend, and I remember when I was at the True Expo, the condition that I was seeing the girls in on the Saturday compared to the pictures, the difference is so night and day. It's
You
unbelievable.
know what? In saying that, what's that? Is it Jack Eagles? Again, in those photos, you don't understand how good that motherfucker is. In real life, he is like, he doesn't even look like the same person.
he's fucking mega, mate.
Chuck, you got no fucking idea, mate. This kid is arguably one of the best bodybuilders I've seen in real life. Like, he's not massive, but the way he's put together and the way that motherfucker poses, he is like a seasoned professional.
It looks like he gains 2 stone every time he hits a pose,
Yeah.
and then it sort of goes away, and then it comes back in the pose. It's just a structure. It's fucking nuts.
I think when you're blessed with such small joints, yeah, when you just open up and hit shots, it just goes. It just pops.
Look,
I think Thingy's very good as well. I always butcher his name. Is it Gershon? Gershon Pierce?
No,
Cuba's
Pierce.
boy?
It's just Pierce Garrick or something like that. But yeah, he's a sicko.
Oh, yeah. Pierce, he's a fucking unit, bruv, yeah?
Yeah, his legs are off it.
I'm a big fan of his physique.
He was winning that show until that last 20 seconds. Like, he was beating that. You got to remember that Jack came in, he didn't peak. He was on his, from my understanding, he was on his prep diet still. But that Pierce, I think, was beating him until he started leaking with sweat for the second time.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody sweat so much.
It was
Well,
mad.
when I spoke to him after, because I like him a lot, we do get along. And I spoke to him, I goes, bro, what was the sketch? He goes, because, mate, when you were backstage, there was no sweat. I would have told you, bro, I would have wiped it off for you. Do you know what I mean? I like you, innit? Do you know what I mean? Not like you're a prick, I'm going to leave it. And, bro, when we got on stage, I didn't even realise the sweat until after.
It was like a switch though, Riz. He wasn't sweating, then all of a sudden he was bucking it out. I didn't know if he was going hypo, because I think Kuba said he had a panic attack, or he was tripping balls. So I don't know if that sent him sideways, but it was a shame because Jack and Pierce in the first call out were both sweating buckets. They wiped him down, and then their tans were like yellow, like they didn't have the same look as everybody else. So I was going to ask you, was it hot up there, Riz? Because you weren't sweating at all.
But I was the fucking opposite. I was fucking dry than the desert, bro.
Well, no one else seemed to be. It just seemed to be them, and particularly that big.
Yeah.
I don't even know where he was getting all the fluid from to sweat that much out,
Dry as
because
fuck.
it was pouring off him. Like,
Yeah.
but it was pouring off him in the height class, and then it was pouring off again. You'd presume he'd have dried out. He got rid of that much in the
Yeah.
first one.
I think are Jack and Pierce going to do? Are they doing their pro qualifier together?
I know Pierce competes in 2 days.
Yeah, is Jack doing it? Because I think that will be a proper battle for that pro card, like, and it could go either way. Like that Pierce is
Who?
that good.
Jack Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're probably both
Yeah.
going in there.
He said on stage he's hitting a few, I think, if he needs to, which I don't think he will, to be honest. I think someone's going to have to be very impressive to beat the kid, especially when he didn't peak for this.
Yeah.
I think they both will turn pro this year. Both
Yeah,
very
I
good.
agree.
Different style of physique, but both classic, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what I like about that Pierce's physique, like you can tell he's naturally quite a skinny guy, but just slap loads of muscle on. Whereas Jack's like very genetically blessed with insertions, you know?
Yeah.
But people remember Jack's only 20, man. He's a baby.
Yeah.
I love his mate because of him. I've even been posing again. No joke. I found it that impressive. Like I've been posing flat out just because of it.
Oh, yeah.
But I like his like oozing of confidence as well. Like when he's up there, he fucking knows he's a sicko, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we were on podcast one day, and Jack was like, you can't bother do that classic posing. And I thought to myself, prick, I can't pose, man just never
You
puts
would see it.
effort in.
I was
Yeah,
so
you're very
impressed.
routine.
I'd
Yeah.
arguably say you were one of the best posers I've seen over the 2 days.
Went
Yeah,
to see
definitely.
went to see Phoebe, and Phoebe looked at Dee. She goes, "Oh, so you've been working on a pose routine?" She goes, "Dee, Riz don't do no posing routine." And I goes, "Hold my water bottle, okay?" And I goes, "Watch this, yeah." And I put the song on that Dee chose, and she was like, "Where the fuck's that come from?" I goes, "Oh, I practiced it once last night at Jamie's, and I just freestyled the rest." She goes, Phoebe goes, just do that. She goes, just freestyle it, Riz. I was like, sound. There's no point overcomplicating it, bro. You just sit in it a
The
little bit.
most
fancy.
impressive thing that I'm so jealous about because I got chocolate knees is how you get down on your knees. That's what I want to be able to do.
Well, when you're only 5'4", it's easy to get
Yeah,
down
you're
there,
based on the
so
fucking
it's
floor anyway, cheating.
Oh, I'm having a nightmare here. Right? I took Carolina to the park near us on Monday. Mate, I must have walked. We'd been for a big walk round. She wanted to push a little pram, and that's so I'm having to carry a pram, then push a pram, then carry her, then push her pram and the baby's pram. And I was like, "We'll go in the park." Mate, I must have took 10 steps in this park, got bit 99 million times off some midges, and had to run out. So I thought, "Oh, the baby, like Carolina, will get bitten," but she didn't. They must have just been after the testosterone.
Yeah, they
I've
wanted
got I've got 3 on one calf, 3 in the door. I'm like this all the time. They're fucking killing me.
It's been fucking hot though, hasn't it, man? Jesus Christ.
I bought an AC unit for the house. I was like, fuck this. I'm not
mate.
sleeping in this.
I'm literally fucking melting.
Well, I got one from Argos, 280 quid.
What?
Yeah, but
Bro, I got my
in
£10
2 days'
fan.
time- In 2 days' time, it's going to be fucking freezing again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but listen, bro. Sleeping in a colder room is better for bodybuilding anyway, so use it year round.
You
Yeah,
won't use that year round. You'll get your lucky bill next month, and you'll be like, "Dee, put that in the garage. We're not using it anymore."
Yeah.
We sleep with a fan on every day anyway, year round. Doesn't matter what year,
I'm like that. It
what day
bumps
it
my
is.
nose up, man. I can't do that.
Hey, I'll tell you something interesting I've noticed. So, do you know, that's just completely off topic. So, do you know, I said I keep always getting cramps after legs. So I thought it was because I was on a high day, right, and it was messing with the electrolytes. But actually, what I've realised is, sort of sad as I am, I started making a note of how much I pee after leg day, because I was like, I'm sure I'm pissing loads compared to normal. And it turns out the reason I've been cramping is because I'm kicking out so much water after legs. I'm not replacing enough.
Yeah.
So the last 2 weeks I've made a point of drinking extra water on the morning, but particularly all the way up to night, no cramp. So it's literally just because when I train legs, afterwards I seem to piss twice as much as normal, and I just seem to kick for whatever reason. And I haven't been taking any insulin. I'm not on the high days for leg days now. But the same thing happens. So it's not an electrolyte thing, or it's not from the insulin and shit. It just seems to be after legs. My body is booting out loads of extra water,
I
and
reckon
that's
that's
what's
like
causing the
inflammation
cramping.
as well, where obviously the legs are getting coated in fluid and it's just pissing it out.
It might be, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was literally like, I'm peeing loads here, so I made a note.
Surely, like, it's a normal thing to
No.
have cramps after legs. Like, that is my worst nightmare after training legs. I know I'm going to cramp up.
But do you not stretch after legs?
No.
Yeah, I've always stretched. But what I'm saying is that's what I've always thought, is that I go to bed nervous at times because when I wake up during the night, the cramp is that bad. It's brutal, right? Horrendous. And 2 of my clients have tore muscles getting cramps during the night when they've jumped out of bed, adductors, right?
Yeah.
So what I've found is putting an extra 1.5 litres in, making sure I'm putting more fluid in after legs, no cramp.
Yeah.
It's just a fluid thing.
I've had a weird
I
thing
grab
with
the salt
training.
shaker sometimes at night, and I leave it by my bed just in case.
Yeah, it's a fucking
I've seen me. I'm trying not to wake Carolina up. I'm like crawling across the landing, like biting my finger like this, where it's so agony, and it's increasing my fluid. No cramp, just from that.
You know that when that happens, like the first time when you say you get with a bird and your bird's just like you got with her, and that fucking happens, and she's starts freaking out, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Now
Awesome.
That's so funny because it's now that it wouldn't happen, but
yeah.
The adductor cramp is the fucking worst though. When you get off the sofa post leg day and it catches you, it's fucking rancid.
Oh,
I tell you what I did before, which was stupid years and years ago. So I trained legs, and I went up the birds I was seeing at the time. We watched a film, and I lied on the couch with my feet up. On the edge of the couch?
Yeah.
So it drained everything out with them. I couldn't walk. I literally got to go off the couch, mate, and both legs cramped up, and I just collapsed on the floor. Horrendous.
No, I come back from Rizzo I was hanging out my ass. Where you just fatigued for a couple of days. Wasn't feeling leg day. It was 8,000 degrees. On a diet, walked in and took a fucking lifetime PB. Finally got 6 plates on the squat, Smith squat for fucking 4 reps.
It's mad,
Mental. I couldn't understand it for the life of me. But when you know it's there. I knew it was there straight away as I was warming up. But it's fucking weird.
Yeah. That's why I'm not a fan of using. I got one of those Whoop bands, a bit like an Oura Ring, but they're meant to be more. They are meant to be the most accurate things in terms of tracking your recovery, and the rest, the measure your not just your resting heart rate, but your heart rate variable. The time between the beats and shit. But I was on days it was telling me I should rest, I felt great, and I was hitting the peak, the best workouts I was having.
Yeah.
I was this thing's no good. It's fucking backwards.
It's weird, Nick, because it can't take into account, can it? The anabolics and things like that. I don't know how effective it actually is for us lot,
No, I don't think any of those. I think they're good for tracking your sleep and your heart rate potentially in your steps. But I think using them these are focused more on professional athletes. I think sure they were used in the NFL in America and shit first. Yeah. And I think they're aimed about that. But if your watch is telling, your watch or your ring's telling you need to rest and you feel fantastic and you go and smash out your best workout ever.
This is what I'm saying, bro. I stopped wearing all the sleep tracker shit. But I used to go to sleep 9 hours and the tracker would say, "Oh shit, sleep." I'd wake up feeling angry.
Yeah.
Mate, I had a client. If his Fitbit said he had a bad sleep, he wouldn't go to the gym.
Fuck that, I'm off it, mate. Bullshit, bro.
That's people just looking at excuses not to work out. That's what that is.
Bro, that's why even this peak week, Dee was you're taking your blood glucose monitor. I goes, no. I goes, leave it at home. I goes, I end up checking it for fucking no reason, yeah? Even when it comes to weighing out all the fish, man just did half a fillet. I even went Martin on the rebound diet. I went, Martin, listen, bruv. On that rebound diet, just please put on everything on there as packs. Pack of cod, 250. Pack of bastard, 240. I goes, I ain't got no fucking time, bruv, to weigh shit out, bruv. Just do it in packs.
Watching others compete, I realise that I'm a spastic. I am so autistic compared to everybody else. The way Riz is fucking squirting on jam, mate, my fucking autism was flaring up. I'm just next time I'm eyeballing everything, Hilly. I'm just gonna eyeball it. 15 grams of fucking jam.
I think during prep it's important to weigh everything. But I think when you're in peak week and that the day of the show, look, when AJ sent me my meal when I got off stage, can you remember, Deck?
Yeah.
So I'd just come off the class and it was to go to the overall, and he was like, go and take your weight, which I agree with because it was an interesting variable to track. Then he was like, right, I want you to have, 146 grams of bison, 198 grams of jasmine rice, and 8 grams of fucking coconut or something. I was like, is he taking a piss out of me, man? Come on, I've just got a stage for a play, some shit, mate. But arguably, I then not only held the look, but got even better for the overall, so I can't argue with that shit.
Do you know what I find, man? When you're on, Martin gave me some meals, 7 rice cakes, 40 grams of jam, 30 grams of nut. But I was like, listen, but fuck this, yeah. I chuck 4 rice cakes away. I was like, I'm just going to eyeball the jam as much as I want.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
definitely going to go over. I'll
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
even
not saying it's a
butter.
bad thing. If anything, I think it would help
It's
me
a
like
better
really
thing.
stress. Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, that's one thing that I've learned, mate. I can't be arsed to stress, mate. What's an extra 20 gram of carb going to do when I'm on fucking all that shit?
Yeah.
Well, show day morning, it doesn't matter whether you're having 10, 15 or 20 grams of jam, really. It doesn't have rice cakes. Like, it's why it always makes me laugh when you see coaches giving bikini girls like, right, I need you to have 3 rice cakes, 10 grams of this, and I'm like, mate, listen, come on, like does the grams in jam and the nut butter, I just say a teaspoon.
Yeah.
Fucking have, it is what it is.
It's like when I got back from the MK Classic to the Manchester hotel, Martin goes, Riz, go back. He goes, trust you enough, mate. He goes, I want you to have fish and rice. I went, sound.
Did any of you boys get stuck in that fucking standstill traffic on the way back? Do you know what it
No
was?
traffic, mate.
I was going to get out and murder the bastard. Someone in like a tipper truck dropped a rake on the side of the motorway, and they closed the whole fucking motorway at standstill to clear it off. I was going to get out of my car and move it myself. I was that fed up of fucking waiting.
Did you get a parking ticket?
I fucking did. And I only realised on the way home, I shit you not, I saw something white.
Where from?
Parked outside the venue.
It's Hilly's fault. He said, park on the squiggly white bit. So I got you, bro.
You fucking idiots.
Well, it said there'll be. I thought someday there'll be no one fucking here. Be sound, mate. Everybody got them down that road. Loads of people had them.
Did anyone see Pajama Pants get on stage? Mr. Pregnant from the PCA one. Did anyone see what he looked like on stage?
Who's that?
Mate,
mate,
there
some
was
kid
this
kicking him
guy,
out.
honestly. Me and Hilly rocked in. He's 9 months pregnant with the worst tan. He's got 58 pounds of subcutaneous water, and he's walking around in pajamas pants like he's about to win Mr. Olympia. And I could not
Probably one of these disabled customers.
bro, I couldn't stop staring at his gut, and I really wanted to see what he looked like on stage.
Yeah, fucking nuts, man.
Did you see
Nuts.
Hilly? The lad that we were really impressed with, the bodybuilder, I think he was the first time in red. That was one of Martin's clients. The guy that was peeled
Was
out
it?
his brains. Yeah, he looked fucking 8.
Oh yes, yeah, he did.
He looked
Yeah,
8.
very good.
Listen, the amount of mans that owe me wins, yeah, because of my dream tan, yeah? I shot something at bills, bro. Yeah?
Were you just running around telling people backstage?
Nah, bro, obviously, loads of Martin's clients fucked up. They lost their dream tan, got the wrong one. He was like, Riz, have you got some spare? I goes, yeah. I got 1 tub spare, bro, after you tan me.
Make it last.
He he did it on 4 people, bro. I rate that.
Have we got any questions? Have we got any?
We can make up questions, can't we?
I've got a good one. I've got that one I put in the group there. So when I posted my macros the other day, AJ has my protein high, and a couple of people messaged saying, I thought it's bad for digestion for protein to be that high. You know, does it really need? And my instant response to people is, obviously, most recommendations for protein tend to be 1 to 1.25 grams per pound of body weight in the normal sense of, like, if you're trying to gain muscle. In terms of science, that even is a bit high to what the science says. But what we have to bear in mind is scientific studies are generally done on people like us, even if they're not using steroids. But the main hit-home thing for me, which I tend to regurgitate for everybody, is every huge person on the planet, right, that we've come across has all stated, whether it was Ronnie Coleman, Kai Green, fucking Jordan Peters, everybody, when they put the majority of their size on, were eating upwards of 2 grams per pound of body weight. Then you've got coaches like Chad Nichols, Matt Jansen, Milos Sarchev, all like their clients to be around to the upper state of that protein. So for me, if there are all of the really huge bodybuilders on the planet, or the majority, have all had to take their protein up high, and if most of the top coaches that work and create these huge guys also suggest having protein on the high side, I'd say that's pretty much enough fucking bro science and anecdotal science to support having the higher protein consumption.
I think we have enough.
There is.
I think we have enough evidence, bro.
You've got to bear in mind.
Say that again, Judge.
300 pounds. Like by default, if you're eating 6,000 calories, you're going to struggle to go under 300 grams of protein. Like, you know what I mean? It's just because you're eating so many total calories.
Yeah, but even whether it's Dante Trudell or Milos or Chad, they all want their guys upwards of 600 grams. And Jordan said the same when he was going. And the reason it propped up for me was I was watching a thing with Milos Sarcev the other day, James.
Yeah, I watched it.
James Hollinshead. And James has said, although he eats low protein now, or potentially because it might have become trendy or because it's easier, when he was younger and he was putting on the majority of his size, he was around the 2 gram per pound mark. And even in terms of science, because I looked at it loads at uni, there is studies to show in bigger guys that having a higher protein consumption was beneficial. It just, for the science terms, it wasn't significantly beneficial. There wasn't enough people of enough progress to differentiate. And then the guy I was talking to was like, well, what about, does it not screw your digestion? And obviously that is then the key proponent of that, is that how do you get in the protein that you need if you are going to try a high, and this is where it's very individual. Some people might want to try 250, then 300. Keep pushing your protein up. Like AJ's got me on at the moment between around 450 to 500 grams. And my digestion is absolutely fine. But I've been eating that for about a year and a half. And I know the foods that allow me to eat that, and I know the foods that don't. And that is the real key, is that, again, coming back to the anecdotal bro science, I think it's quite hard to argue that higher protein doesn't build a bigger bodybuilder, because most of the bigger bodybuilders we know have taken their protein up to 400 and 500 grams or above. But the trick is of finding the foods that let you consume that amount without having bad digestion. That's the way, isn't it?
The way that I'm looking at it now is, after this prep's done now, yeah, I worked with Nathan Harmon at the beginning of the year. My protein was at 500 grams a day, yeah, even though it was only for 2 or 3 months, yeah. But I was 10 pounds up this year. Is that just a coincidence? And I didn't have a very long off season, but my stomach was fucked. Yeah, my stomach was fucked. Maybe we should have been better on around about 350, 400 for my body weight. But this is the most I have ever fucking grown after his off season, and I have to give the man credit. My ass was leaking. I couldn't stop shitting.
Loads of tests and loads of protein.
Loads of tests, loads of protein, yeah, and it worked.
I've ran it 400 grams, I think, for the best part of like a year and a half now, aren't we, really? But also, there's so many people that moan about digestion, but then when you ask them about like how well their meal timings are, how good their sleep, do they move in between meals, like half of the root causes they're just lazy fucking bastards. Like, you go back to that Milos podcast, he literally says to his guys in the off season, your protein's 500. If you can eat any more at any point, you eat more. In any meal, whatever you can get it in. If it's extra chicken, extra fish, extra beef, you get that in.
What's your protein now?
Topping up meals with protein powder.
Well, my protein's not that high actually. It's about 350, isn't it, Hilly?
Yeah, we set yours.
It's about 350. So it's not like mad. But that's normally what I eat, about 60 grams of protein. Yeah, like 50, 60 grams of protein.
The caveat of that is, though, because like if Hilly said to me, eat as much protein as you want, I'd be 700 pounds of fat in a year. Like, do you know what I mean? Because I would just nail packets of beef for fun.
Yeah, and the thing for Chubbs there is that we just moving through a recomp or a diet phase. So the difference is you don't need as much protein to maintain, and actually you can maintain it on a fair bit less.
This is my next question. So, in that instance, let's say if we ramped protein up in the off season extremely high, would you potentially then, if you're looking to remove calories in a diet, reduce the protein because you only need enough to spare the muscle? Or would you still leave that as a macro you'd always maintain all the way through for satiety?
Mine did that to me this year. He pulled out my protein in the meals. He goes, you're now no longer require that much because you're now a lower set point.
So there's two. See, I used to do that a bit, or take that approach. However, there's the counter argument to that is we know now based on science that protein has more of a thermogenic effect. So there was a study that Dante posted where I think they overate in terms of total calories by like 40% all from protein, and none of them actually acquired any more body fat. So, and then the other thing for me is, so AJ had my protein, I think at like 500 grams on training days and on rest days and 450, right, on my off season last year, roughly where they're at now. But they were in prep, and George Farrell does this, in prep, he actually bumped my protein up, particularly on rest days. So what I actually found is, and this was a really interesting learning point, is that I still kept getting leaner and leaner while my protein was at those very high levels. So my hunger was never as much of an issue because I was having these I was eating 9 ounces of fish and 8 and 9 ounces of meat, remember? I was off it. So I do think that would be a variable I would still keep the same. But then I think the caveat comes is that if you've got someone that is maybe potentially really struggling to get the fat off, and you know your T3 is where you don't want it to go any higher, your cleanse is where you don't want it to go any higher, you then have the ability to pull that down if you need to, or if you notice someone, you know, his stomach is bloating, or if they need to make a weight cap, I don't think you run the risk of losing muscle bringing it down. But I also don't think that it stops fat loss keeping it high.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I mean, remember my rest days, they were like 9 ounces of chicken, 9 ounces of fish, 9 ounces of beef. And I was like, I was eating 520 grams of protein and I was never hungry. You had some cravings, and even though there was no carbs, that's a fucking lot of meat when you lay that out on a plate. And it didn't stop me getting fucking very, very lean. So I think that although you can manipulate it down, if it has this thermogenic effect, and you can get as lean as you need to with it up there, then it makes it more benefit to keep it up there. Because any extra that you don't use, you're just pissing out anyway. It's not, you know, if it almost has a thermogenic effect where it's maybe even enhancing fat loss, or even if it's just letting you put more protein in your mouth and therefore keeping you fuller in your stomach, that's a huge fucking benefit to prep. Huge.
I think James said when he was young, he's eating 200 grams of protein per meal.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever done that, but I do that with clients quite a lot. Say we get to a point you're eating 300 grams of protein, 300 grams of carbs. What I'll do is instead of dropping their calories, total calories, what I'll do is I'll drop the carbs to say 280 and I'll bump the protein to 320. So calorically you're at the same point, but because of the thermogenic effect of protein, you're actually in a deficit.
Yeah.
And that's a well-known George Farrett thing that people used to go on about it all the time a long time ago. Hey, D.
Hi, D.
He would drop the macros, and AJ did something similar. Like I say, he would be dropping my carbs down, and then at certain points increasing my protein, and it worked very well. I'd say very well indeed.
Yeah.
Boy, when D just brought Riz's tea, I ain't got mine.
Ain't no one here to bring mine, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, no.
I told you before. I found you someone, you prick. You've just been ungrateful. I told you.
Listen, I've been single forever now. My little girl's going to be the only girl that rinses me for money for the rest of my life.
Bro,
there's been enough females in my life that have had ridiculous amounts of money out of me. I'm just going to buy my little girl designer shit now. She's going to get all the money and she can just be P. Diddy for her life. She's going to be swagged to death.
Dick, I've told Hilly I found him someone, but he's been an arse over him.
How big is she? Is she a heavy one?
Huh?
Is she a heavy one?
Nah, bro, listen. Marry one of these cousins, bro. You'd be happy, bro.
Yeah.
Look at that. Fish and rice.
D makes the best basmati rice.
Yeah, he does.
D's a lifesaver, bro. Give it to her. I bought her some macaroon just for £2. She got well happy.
D's a legend.
Is there any did we have any other topics to cover? Anything exciting?
I didn't post this question, unfortunately.
No, we didn't, did we?
No.
We're going to get maybe do a proper Q&A next week because we haven't done that in a while.
Now Riz's more pathetic. Should we arrange a session as well? We get a bit of a gym session and maybe some grub.
Yeah, therefore.
Yeah.
We've got to work out what's like proximal to like all of us, kind of like sort of same distance.
I think. Did you not know they're opening at Ultraflex in my area?
No.
I did because you told me.
Who's going to be running that one?
I don't know, but it's 22,000 square foot.
Riz, now that Jamie's retired, does that mean you're the most winningest bodybuilder in Ilkeston?
No, what I say to everyone is I'm the henchest Asian in a 50-mile radius.
Yeah.
That's what I kept saying to Jamie.
How far is everybody away from Cheltenham?
I'm like 20 minutes.
You're like there, aren't you?
Yeah. How far are you, Judge?
I'm like 3.5 hours from there.
Because I'm just thinking we should all go to the James and Jordan's gym opening.
Yeah, we said that, didn't we?
Yeah. We do a Christmas night out.
I mean, I'd still be up for that. I would still be up for that.
Yeah. And then, so where is central for us all then?
It's got to be Midlands, hasn't it? It's got to be like Birmingham because it's a little.
Birmingham.
Well, is it for you, Hilly?
It's 3 hours for me. It's not too bad.
Yeah, it's about 2 for me.
Where I live is about central, isn't it? Right for you.
But I'm good. I'm good for all weekends now because Arena goes to a mum on a Wednesday, and then I am free. So all I'm literally doing now is working Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, and then Arena comes back on a Sunday. So those 4 days I can go anywhere in the world whenever the fucking hell I like. Because all I'm going to do is work and train those days, get the majority of my workload done, and then I've got time to party.
2023, Hilly is getting £300.
Yes,
You've got no choice now, bro. You've got no choice.
Listen, I'm never going to get anywhere if AJ doesn't put me on a fucking cycle soon. He doesn't fucking cruising. Dropping my doorstep again.
I don't need cycle. Protein is anabolic.
I'm the only person that had perfect blood work coming off a cycle, off a rebound, and still fucking cruising it.
It's fucking mental, isn't it?
I tell you what, lads, yeah, I felt like absolute dog shit yesterday, yeah. Mate, I was just fucked, yeah. And last night I pinned some tests, yeah. And fucking hell, bro. Today I went to Hilly, goes, bro, I feel a little bit better, you know.
Yeah.
And I've just, as the day's gone on, I've just felt better.
How early did you pull them out, Riz?
So the show was on Saturday. Pulled them out on the Friday.
So like 8 days.
So 8 days. And then obviously I've not pinned all the way up until yesterday.
Yeah.
And I think the way I metabolize it's quite quick anyway. And
you'll feel it by then. Yeah.
Yeah, and all the other shit in, like the anti-E's, this and that, slamming me down.
Don't forget as well, you're pulling the test out, and then the anti-E's go up.
Yeah.
So, like, you've got nothing that's aromatizing in your body, and then you're slamming any estrogen that might be there. And that's the idea, but that is a very direct route to hell.
Yeah, fact.
Yeah.
But I can't lie, man. Do you know, honestly, the way that my physique changed that last week, yeah, the way I've never had my glutes even come in. They weren't fully in, but to come in even how much they did, and the hamstring to come in, I was well happy. I was
really impressed, man. I think, like me and Bowman were talking, I think people fail to understand the importance of having developed glutes for them to be in, and like your glutes were really boxed off in the sense of the shape were there when you're hitting your rear lat and stuff. And I think it makes the biggest difference. It just makes the biggest difference.
But me and you said this to me before: is we've both got no asses. We both need to work on that area.
Nice.
That was an issue. I need more. You can always see my. Yeah, go on.
I've literally just changed my training split because I keep masturbating over Jordan Peters' Instagram. So now I've got a density day, which is hamstring glutes I'm putting from the floor.
My goal this next off season.
Deadlifts is what builds big glutes. Because like you could look at anyone that deadlifts a lot. Like even me when I had like no fucking physique, but I just had the glutes because I just pulled off the fucking floor. Look at Dan, like guys that just like pull a lot from the floor. Even fucking Louis, he's got like fuck all. He's got a fucking massive ass. Like people like that.
The dude that Risby at Two Bros had a fucking bunda on him. Mate, you'd never seen an ass like it. He was like half fucking horse.
Yeah.
You know what? I want to give a little bit of tip to some people, yeah? So when you're backstage, yeah, I've seen some absolute donuts. Yeah, I've been in there, done it myself. They're backstage, yeah, they go into some fucking panic frenzy, yeah, pumping the living shit out of the fucking shit. I'm like, yo, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
Wow.
I was like, you know what? I was like, just carry on, blood. I'm gonna just keep posing. I just kept posing. Martin kept coming.
Nah, that was me. That was me backstage because I couldn't get a fucking pump for the life of me. I was just trying
to support this though. Phil Viz posted a study about this because of the William Bonac's pre-Olympia posing. He basically does like an hour and a half session. But from my understanding, the way you train just normally and the muscle fibers you build. So let's just say if you're a high volume trainer who's someone who let's say effectively inflates during their training sessions. If you're that type of person, you do need to do that. If you are someone who's much lower volume that can stimulate the muscle very well, you can get away with less pump. But there is I'll find it. Phil Viz even though he's a spastic, he did a really good video about it, kind of saying that you have to understand which one you are and then pump accordingly. Do you see what I mean?
So I think what he was saying is if you train with more higher volume, your muscle then, so it's that sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. It's you improve your body's ability to store glycogen. So therefore, to get the round look that you were after, you then need to pull more glycogen into the muscle.
Yeah.
But I think also it very much. I think there's more to it than all of that. I think if you're a bigger guy and you carry more muscle, then you may need to pump up more. And then I also think that it depends on how you've loaded, because in the past I have needed to pump up a bit, but with it, the way AJ did it, I was just walking around like I was just perfect all of the fucking time. It was nuts. And like you said that, everybody said it. I came off stage after doing the category and the overall, and I just didn't change.
Yeah.
I was like, I looked just as full and hard before and afterwards. So I think there's a lot of person dependent, and also a lot of how you've loaded, how you're looking, what you need to move about.
The way I look at it is, if you're not getting a pump and the pump's not coming, it's always a fluid problem, right?
I agree with that.
Yes, of course it is.
Because I was literally back, but this is where I learned Nathan Styles, bless him, when I went to see him and I was posing, I stood still. We just did posing for like 45 minutes, and I just stood still, and he goes, Riz, you've not had any carbs, and you're just getting fuller and fuller, and he goes, mate, don't pump up. He goes, do absolute minimal. He goes, just fucking pose, mate, when you're backstage. He goes, that's all you need.
Yeah.
Martin, we did probably like side raises with his hands, and a bit of my chest I pumped up. That's all I did.
Yeah.
And I just kept walking and flexing my leg, and that was it.
But where is with you,
sometimes
Dick?
pumping up is actually like what can make you look worse. You know when you like over pump, like when you go and get like a massive arm pump and your arm just looks,
they look smaller.
Just, it's Same with the quads. Like when I get like a massive quad pump, my legs actually look worse. Like they got veins in them, but you can't see it like a line.
No.
But then, like with you, Dick, you always, even in your check-ins, you always like, I look like shit during the day, but as soon as I train, like you are someone that notices you need to pull stuff about. Whereas for me, I don't really. I obviously look fuller after training, but I never look drastically bigger or rounder. Like on my morning check-in pictures during prep, I never look like I'm flat. I remember doing I think it was my second show. And there was me and another one of my clients. It was about a decade ago, this. And then my dad and the gym guy we posed. Me and my client, we'd both been on 0 carbs for 3 days. And my dad and the guy that owned the gym were like, are you sure you've fucking been on 0 carbs for 3 or 4 days? Like, I just don't seem to get flat. So therefore, I don't really need to pump up that much, because I always seem to maintain that sort of look. Whereas some people get noticeably flat and then noticeably
like Chud said, he wakes up. No matter what I eat, I don't hold fullness in the morning. I need a bit of fluid and to move around a bit. Once that's in, I'm good. But I think it's also even pre-bodybuilding. I drank a lot of water, so I piss a lot in the day. Like I'm always fucking pissing. Like I piss 10, 15 times in a day with ease. You know what I mean? So I think I'm just flushing all the time. But it's also why I'm really dry.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
How's that fitting right, Chris?
I'm actually not having any chicken at the moment. I went to Martin, don't put me no chicken in.
I won't eat any chicken these days.
He put me 1 meal in, but I just changed it for batter anyway. Because, bro, it's long to buy. I can't be asked to fucking drive to fucking Derby to get halal chicken, Go Tesco's, chuck it in the basket.
Bro, did you see that video on TikTok today about the halal chickens?
I don't watch TikTok.
In Birmingham, there's a dude who buys his chickens on like halal farm, and some guy's got a video of the chickens eating rats in their pen, so they can't be halal.
Bro.
Oh.
Bro.
That's haram, Riz. That is haram, bro.
This is what I've always argued, Back in the day, halal used to work, but now the society is so big, There's so many Muslims, bro. How can you meet the demand?
Yeah.
You
You ain't gonna know, are you? You can't tell the difference.
No, you can't tell. No. You can't.
I'm all about turkey mince these days. I can't touch
chicken mince for me, man. I fucking love that shit. Chicken mince with some bird's eye chili on.
Do you know what? A lot of people don't eat in bodybuilding. And Evan Santopani was a big fan of it. What's like, I think you white people call it. Is it offal?
Offal, yeah. It's high fat.
Like liver, kidney.
Yeah.
Tell you what, you
eat
boys
a lot of it all the time because it's so rich.
Nah, it's really rich.
Iron and stuff like that.
It's super high in nutrients, though, isn't it?
Yeah, Sam Mead's a fucking weirdo, mate. He drinks shakes of it.
Yeah, right, man. Here, boys, this is mega.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Burger relish banging.
Yeah, but
the calories are fuck all. Yeah.
The same calories as low sugar ketchup, but it's got like little crunchy onions in it.
Yeah.
So when you put it in your chicken or turkey and rice, it gives it like a better texture. Bad boy, that stuff.
Yeah, banging.
I like that at the moment. Proper.
I'm gonna ask Martin in the off season. So listen, bruv, how about you just put me in a Greg's pasty every day? I'll walk to town. I'll walk to town with the dog.
Extra man.
I'll go get the pasty, and then
So we're going to go on off season with Martin then.
Yeah. Do you know what, bro? I have to. When I first joined Martin, Dee wasn't happy about it, right? Dee wasn't happy about it at one bit. She goes, "I'm not happy." She goes, "Go do what you want." But after the way things have gone, I cannot fault the man for the amount of fucking time that guy has given me in the last week. Yeah, he's every fucking call. That whole peak week, even up to peak week, I wasn't talking to him. I was trying to hold back. He was like, "Riz, just fucking talk to me. Just fucking talk to me. I'm here, bro. You pay for this." And the guy was just on it, mate. He was like, "Riz, 12 o'clock at night, come see me. I'll wake you up at 5, check you again. 7, I'll check you again." And he was just on my fucking case, bro. But in a good way, not in an annoying way.
Oh, he's like that, yeah.
And Dee was like, "Riz, you know what? This is what you need."
He put some
She
miles
goes,
in, I'll tell you that, man. He had a lot of... He was running around like a headless fucking chicken. The PCA show,
Yeah.
I didn't realise how many of those guys were his. He had a bodybuilder. The dude, he had like black hair, like shaved like a hard shape up on top of his head. He was fucking granite, mate. He didn't win, but he was dry as a... He was dry.
You should have won.
Nah, that Kai Fletcher guy's good. I like that guy's physique.
Yeah, he is. He is really good.
But I think with Martin, bro, I think if I just stick with Martin, end of the day, I cannot argue.
If it's
with
not broken, why would you
because
fix it?
Oh yeah, no,
You got
exactly. If it works, doesn't it?
at the current stage that I am at in my life, yeah, he's helped me a lot. He's fixed a lot of my fucking mental fucking issues going on, yeah. The prep never felt like a prep. He was being there the whole way. I come onto stage basically 15 pounds heavier. I barely had an off season with him, so I want to work with him now, see what his off season's about. And obviously, I know Martin wants to do it more not on like a teamwork sort of thing, but he wants my feedback a lot, which is fine for me. So I'll give him that, and I'm going to let him take the reins because, like Dee said, he's proven you right. He's proven you wrong, Riz. He got you in the best shape, so there's no need to fucking change.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
It was very hard for me to leave Hilly because after 6 years of being with anyone, I was going to question it, yeah? But not once when I've messaged Hilly has Hilly gone to me, "Do you know what, mate? That's just fucking stupid."
Why would he? It's like we always speak about this. It's just unnecessary politics, isn't it, in bodybuilding when people are like that?
And I think he's the only coach. I think when I told Hilly Martin, he was like, "Okay, cool." He was like, "Okay, I can get you. I can understand why." Because I said a load of other names. Hilly goes, no. He goes, "No, he's shit. I was like, cool.
And not just that, like, you've worked together. And what Deck's saying there is what me and Jordan have spoke about before. It's very hard when you spent a long time working with someone, but when you're a coach yourself, to then undoubtedly, like, unquestionably trust someone else. Yeah. And we all have this problem of where we know too much. And when I started working with AJ, I said to you boys, I was like, if he says jump, I'm just going to say how high. And I had a separate journal for everything he told me to do, didn't question him, made notes, gained an understanding myself. But it is so important when you know more than you should, or you know more, you can get in your own head. Yeah, because, and then when your friends are all into it as well, you know, you then, yeah, well, does this sound right to you? Does this sound right to you? And you've just got to, like, we've all got our own methods to the madness. And the problem is that method will work if it's followed 100%. But if you start questioning it or fucking about the things, not only can you ruin the method, it can ruin your head. And one of the, like, for me, I'd prepped myself for a long time. But one of the things that I had been missing out on is the amount of stress it was causing me making my own decisions while I was working with clients and stuff. And actually, just sending my check into AJ, and the agreement with myself was I was not even going to question it. I wasn't going to ask him the whys. I was going to take it up on myself to figure the whys out, because I enjoy that sort of geeky shit. I was just going to pretend as if I didn't understand, just crack on. And it was so enjoyable not having to think and not having to stress. Just saying, yes, sir, yes, get it done.
Yeah.
And I do believe that was one of the main reasons for the end result being good, because I didn't stress over shit.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, what drugs, what food, you say, I'll get it done, no issues. It was the most enjoyable part of it, was the fact that I didn't have to fucking think.
Yeah.
That actually ends up being, for me, one of my pet hates in being a coach and working with people. Because a lot of my clients, coach, it's like, well, why? Well, such and such does this or such and that. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck what such and such does. You either want me to tell you the way that I feel is going to be best and we work on it together, or go and hire fucking such and such.
Yeah.
Like, the debate, the stress. There's been a couple of clients this year I've been like, listen, this doesn't work for us. Because it's like, oh, well, such and such is this. And I'm like, go and fucking hire such and such then. Like, why give someone your money? And I've said this before. I looked at everybody I wanted to work with, and I found someone I felt I could learn from. I felt knew more than me. I respected, because I'd watched the work they'd done, and I was giving them their money, giving them my hard-earned money for them to tell me what to fucking do. Not for me to then go, well, I think this is better. Well, I've watched such and such's YouTube channel and they do this. It's my job to trust, to shut the fuck up and get the work done. Yeah. And then you learn what works and what doesn't work. It's a whole fucking idea.
Like Martin said to me on video call yesterday, he goes, Riz, one thing I respect about Deck and Hilly is that they were at the show, they didn't once try to give me advice, yeah? And when he took me to the top, he goes, Riz, I want to see your pose. He took me separately, and I said to him, I goes, listen, I don't give a fuck what the lads say. I goes, you do what you've got to do, yeah? I goes, end of the day, I'm paying you, bruv, yeah? You got me here. You've got my feedback. Now you do what's best.
I'm always trying to be hyper cautious of that, because even like Jack was like, come over, take a look at me. I'm just like, yeah, cool. Like I just try and keep myself to myself. Then I'll go and talk to Hilly, or I'll go and talk to you about. That makes sense. I just try and.
But I didn't ask anyone on the show. Did you realise? No one. Not Hilly.
And that's why when you and Martin went to look at posing, me and Dick didn't come. No. I was like, I said, I know what this looks like. I said, it's for me to do my job, or for Martin to do his job without feeling awkward, or because if like I respect Martin, he respects me, we all respect each other, and you know what you see. But if other people say something, it can skew what you think. It doesn't matter who it is. It's like, have I not seen that, or is there something I'm not seeing? Like it can. Martin just needs to be looking at you and focused on you. Nobody knows. And that's if I'm prepping Deck, I need to be looking. I don't need other people to be commenting. I don't need anybody. You just need to do your thing and then go away. And that can be the problem. That can be the problem for Martin, for me, for Deck, for you, Chud. If you're at a show and you've got someone posing, right, and there's other people stood there, and like you can feel a bit nervous or a bit anxious, other people, it can totally skew things. You just need to go away, do your shit, and then come back and be off you go.
Yeah.
That's literally what I did.
It could be like subconscious, like say like Riz asked Deck, like or Jack asked Deck, like, what do you reckon? And he goes, well, maybe your delta a little bit flat, mate. That will stay with him. Like that could be something that you could stuck like as a comment, as a like sideways comment. Yeah. But that will be that will like eat him.
Yeah.
And the other good thing was, and this is where a sign of a very good coach is that after the overall, we all could see that Riz looked better, and so we said to Riz, listen, like go and discuss it with Martin. If you feel the same, then Martin altered it based on what he saw himself, what everybody saw, and like that's what a good coach is. And what Riz and Martin got out of that was an even better, noticeably better look. And that's like I said before, it is an impressive thing to present a very good look on a Saturday and then present an even better look just 24 hours apart.
And Martin backed himself. Like, there was none of the, Deck, what do you think? Hilly, what do you think? Oh, what do you reckon about this? Like, he fully backs his process. He's nailed in. You can see when he's talking and looking at Riz, he's only focused on Riz. He don't give a shit what we think. He's just doing his job,
But I have to respect the man. I've learned a fair bit as well, yeah? In the peak week, in the last few days, he was like, Riz, I'm doing this because of that. And I went, Martin, I don't even want to know, bruv. Because whatever you fucking do, mate, is clearly working, bruv. So I'm not even going to question you.
Yeah.
And I was not the only person I sent my pictures to. Even Hilly knows I didn't really send him that many pictures. I sent him the picture the morning of the show, and I said to him, I look good. And he goes, "You look the best ever, mate." And that was it until show day, until the show.
Mm.
And that was it. I swear to God. Everything else I was sending to Hilly was in the morning, flat once a week, maybe.
Riz is
He
the
was like,
only
yeah,
plastic though
yeah.
that would win a show, come out and go, "Did I look good?" I'm like, "What do you fucking mean,
Yeah.
idiot? You just beat him. Like, what are you talking about?"
Dread, bro. I got a little bit of self belief for once in my life.
I'm glad.
Ryan Rhino, God bless him. I do love him. He come up to me and he goes, "Riz, I've been looking at your picture with Martin." He goes, "The back shots are fucking sick." And I was like, "Yes." Then I was like, "Yes."
Tomorrow morning, Riz, I'm gonna go back to our YouTube video where that kid says you need to pack it in and say, "I fucking told you so, you moron."
Oh, you
No,
know,
allow him.
Nah, I'm not allowing
He's
him.
probably the
I'll
guy.
go back
He's probably the guy that won.
Right, boys, should we call it? I need to go and shave for my coach tomorrow.
Yes, yeah, don't want not hairy backs.
Nah.
Yeah, just by the way as well, I'm going to book in to get my hair laser removed in the next couple of weeks. That's on my back, so I will let you know how it goes.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind getting it done. I'm
nice.
risk the growth hormone. My back hair's getting a bit of a fucking